Okay, so we're jumping down here. With existing here, this is the fun part. This is where I'm recommending the RoboCop technology. With existing off-the-shelf technology with absolutely no cost to the city of New York, which I call New Greed, 80% of the NYPD can replace with RoboCop technology within 3 weeks. Literally within 3 weeks, with the input of an enthusiastic nation, 80% of the New York City's police department could be replaced by remotely and fully autonomous RoboCops. This means the money needed to fund the NYPD could be cut by 70, more like 90%, with a 90% decrease in crime and a 100% decrease in wrongful deaths, bullying, false arrests, and murder of minorities. Robots are able to climb stairs and they can fly. So instead of having some idiot wasp clear the stairwells of housing projects in New York, Indians in India control a trio of RoboCops. One of these treaded RoboCop platforms can walk up the stairs while another one walks down the stairs. Simultaneously, each platform releases flying drones, so no one is dead. No one has to die. Like Curly. If you're in Afghanistan and see a toy-sized helicopter flying around, it is likely the British Army watching you. It's a little toy helicopter called the stairwell. I'm saying we could use this to clear stairwells instead of some cop who shoots people. This stairwell clearing flying drone is called the Black Hornet, or more formally, the PD-100 Personnel Reconnaissance System, which are designed by Props Dynamics of Norway. It is supplied via a British firm, Marlborough Communications, which has a £20 million contract with the military for 160 of them. We can go even smaller with insect-sized drones. The U.S. Air Force has backed the project to use this drone to look for IEDs and for surveillance missions. Okay, so the entire stairwell is cleared in 5 seconds, and Akai Gurley is still alive. Absolutely every piece of the technology necessary to make this happen yesterday already exists. Is inexpensive due to mass production and have lots of spare parts. And there's a picture of Akai Gurley's 2-year-old daughter, Akila. Her father did not have to die. You need only to ask, and every nerd like Bill Gates and the entire city of San Jose will donate materials, resources, and work 40 hours straight to produce for you 3 fully operational RoboCop platforms that can perform all law enforcement activities. And I'm going to change that to justice enforcement because your laws are shit. If you were to ask the general public for monetary support of the project, the response to this request can be estimated by the large crowds protesting the dragon-controlled oligarchy that loves to lynch and murder unarmed minorities. The militarized police state, which could justifiably be called, here I'm insulting you, replacing 100% of WASP, NYPD, and sheriffs with RoboCops will save bankrupt cities millions of dollars every year from not having to pay to defend out-of-control and unaccountable militarized police. I'm talking about SWAT teams and everybody else, actually. The city of New Greed will not have to pay out millions of dollars every year to settle WASP, NYPD, brutality, false arrest, excessive force, robbery, rape, torture, extortion, and murder lawsuits. That's because a RoboCop does not need the city of New Greed to pay into officer retirement accounts. Yeah, robot doesn't retire. It doesn't need you to pay. For unions either. Robots don't have police unions. A robot does not need health insurance. A RoboCop does not need dental insurance or vision insurance, life insurance for itself or its demon spawn, or matching 401k deposits. A RoboCop, autonomous or controlled by Indians in India, does not bleed when it gets shot or fear for its pathetic life, and cannot become drug and alcohol addicted or eat donuts and become obese. RoboCops do not turn into sadistic scumbags after 5 years on the force who only have cop friends. This happens to all people in police. 5 years, they turn into scum. Okay, and what happens to them? They only have cop friends. They believe anyone who is not a cop is a scumbag. That includes their family, their old friends. They belong to the Ku Klux Klan. I call it the Koch brothers Klux Klan, the NRA, nuts, racists, and assholes. And they act like basketball plantation owners, like assholes, racist assholes. RoboCops controlled by Indians in India do not plant knives, guns, and evidence on the unarmed minority they just murdered, then file a false incident report which supports their criminal behavior. Yeah, like a fucking switchblade knife on some kid. Did nothing. He broke him up. Nor do RoboCops need bathrooms. RoboCops don't need the pigs. So wait a minute. Nor do RoboCops need bathrooms or the people the pigs murder in the street who clean the bathrooms. I'm talking about the janitors. RoboCops don't need air conditioning or coffee makers, coffee filters, toilet paper, natural gas, heaters, hot water, offices, desks, chairs, calendars, Windex, soap, paper towels, lockers, pens, printer paper, printers, printer ink cartridges, copiers, police unions, computers, fax machines, tanks, IED armored vehicles, machine guns, military uniforms designed for the jungles of Iraq. Jungles of Vietnam, or Iraq. We're in a fucking city. Stupid motherfuckers. Mortars, RPGs, 50 caliber sniper rifles, or tear gas, which is illegal to use on domestic populations. It's international law. RoboCops remotely controlled by Indians in India will never kill an African man with a chokehold, or kill a Hispanic kid in an open carry state returning a friend's toy rifle, or kill an African man buying a toy rifle at Walmart in Ohio, which is an open carry fucking state. You never hear that on the radio, do you, or on the news? That's because the dragons that control the media and the racist pigs that like killing minorities don't like you to know that, because it's fucking murder. Both Tamir Rice and John Crawford were killed in open carry states. If they were white, nothing would have happened to them. Okay, back to kill. Okay, so I'm back to kill an African man buying a toy rifle at Walmart in Ohio, an open carry state, while he is talking on the phone. Nor will 6 RoboCops beat a 125-pound mentally challenged homeless man to death just for the fun of it. Talked about, or shoot at fleeing suspects. Shoot, how many times has that happened? Or kill a suspect with his hands up and shouting, "Don't shoot." Or in Jackson, Mississippi, allow your African or Hispanic grandmother to be murdered because her skin was not that disgusting pasty color of the typical mass-murdering American psycho. If these typical, massively brain-damaged, insane, suicidal, wasp, rabid dog, minions of Satan, Cleveland, shithead, pigs had parked their white supremacy vehicle 40 feet from Tamir Rice and then used the bullhorn to talk to Tamir, who was carrying a BB gun in an open carry state, even these feminized Nazis could not have been able to justify shooting a 12-year-old boy with a toy gun in an open carry state. Now, a RoboCop driving up in a self-powered, self-driven Google car with nobody in it would have driven up, said, "Hi, Tamir, what's up?" "Oh, I'm playing." "Oh, is that a toy gun?" "Yeah, this is the guy in India talking to him." "Oh, okay, bye." And nobody would have got shot. And how much does that cost? The Google car, huh? Nothing. Doesn't cost shit. It doesn't need a gun. It doesn't need life insurance. It doesn't need health insurance. You know, it doesn't need we don't need them at all. They're fucking swamp psycho assholes. Okay. back. RoboCops never look ridiculous like these pansy-ass honky fucks wearing uniforms designed for the jungles of Vietnam. And I totally agree with the mailbox. On Main Street in America, which I spell KKKA. If these feminized KKK, NRA, Nazi whales really want to camouflage themselves then they should be wearing dollar store uniforms. This is how the encounter with Kajim Powell might have occurred using RoboCops. He was murdered, another black man was murdered, was unarmed. All of this technology is being used today. You just need to package it as I am suggesting. The Super Cruise, or Google, unmanned patrol panel van pulls up playing ice cream truck music as it parks itself in the normal way other cars are parked. Not in the crazy cowboy get out and shoot people way that the pansy-ass pigs do. The side of the pan raises up like the robot transport from the movie I, Robot, and a Simo steps onto the sidewalk. His black faceplate is replaced with a high-definition video screen. He has high-quality speakers facing forward. Culturally correct music is being played as soon as the side of the police van opened. Asimo raises both its hands using the don't shoot symbolism. On the screen appears Chris Rock or any number of black comedians who have signed on to interact with suspects from their cell phones, which is now possible due to advances in communications technology. Then people the suspect is familiar with, such as clergy and family members, are contacted and brought into the interaction using 6 different video windows in the same high-definition screen using DSL. If necessary, Asimo is armed with 7 different levels of force, and there are other types and sizes of robots using different forms of force described earlier, ready to be deployed from the same vehicle. Money is saved, the situation is dealt with, and nobody dies. At 1/100th the cost. What can stop the murder of young minority men by WASP, white supremacy enforcement, domestic terrorist pigs by the end of next year? Again, for the Messiah, this is simple to figure out because I am a servant of God and a genius. It also helps not to be massively brain damaged, heavy metal crazed, feminized, formaldehyde brain damaged, insane, parasitically controlled, and suicidal. RoboCops operated by anyone on the planet Earth other than inbred American rabid dogs do not. And then there's an image here or an article about some Florida cop. Cop in Florida arrested for giving traffic tickets to anyone who is not white for no reason. And then there's an article about the abuse of civil forfeiture laws, $100,000 taken from a man during a traffic stop. And then pictured below is the only technology that should be transferred to local pig departments. The technology pictured below are existing, proven, simple, cheap, with lots of spare parts available RoboCop platforms. Of these can replace one pig immediately by either taking out the passenger seat or modifying the trunk so that it lowers a ramp from which the RoboCop exits. The remaining bacon, which is no longer really necessary, never leaves its bulletproof, air-conditioned / heated patrol car. So the inbred, dick-breath, mercury and lead-crazed WASP who loves to lynch unarmed minorities, KKK and NRA member, Pin Dick, Sundown Town Demon, cannot say it is in fear of its pathetic life, so it does not need a fucking gun at all. The little robots surround an uncooperative suspect and then immobilize his legs with interlocking electrified nets or bolas. Nobody dies. Let's see. Or this $500 drone drops a net on the suspect or a canister of sleeping gas. Not the stuff used by the Russians that killed 300 people in the 300 of the hostages. This is what WASP, white supremacy enforcement, domestic terrorist officers look like to unarmed minorities. This is a picture of Jeremy Salinger, General Motors Research and Development Manager for Super Cruise. He's demonstrating the semi-automated driving that works perfectly for police functions. The RoboCop programmers would have access to GPS, Google Maps and Earth, etc. to anticipate driving challenges in real time. A human driver is not needed.